It's time to get creative with Cassie. Welcome to my paper studio. Today we are going to be doing another Create in 15. That means it's a project that you can sit down and do in under 15 minutes. Today I'm going to show you how I cut apart books and then what I do with the pages inside so they're not wasted. So let's not waste any more time and let's get into it. I like to use the Reader's Digest books because a lot of times the pages in them are kind of yellowed or have that caramel color to them, and a lot of times you don't have to worry about bad words or anything in here, but still double check for that because we don't want any bad words in our projects. So how I go about taking apart a book, the only tool you need for this is your craft knife. Okay, so it's a lot easier to take a book apart if when you look at the spine it's not completely attached, so you have a little bit of a gap in the spine. That makes it a lot easier. So you just kind of pull on the covers a little bit, and then you just use your craft knife and you just go straight down. Now, you don't want to push so hard that you're going to go through your spine. Just enough to break through that paper that's holding the book in place. And that's all there is to it. So then you're left with your book cover that you can clean up the edges here and use as is, or you can cut your spine off, save the covers to make a journal out of, and make your own spine. So after I do that, I like to go ahead and rip off the first couple of pages just because they're usually in the way. And then there's usually this icky stuff here, and there's, I don't know what these pieces are called, but I always rip these off as well, off the spine. And then if this comes off, great. If it doesn't, not a big deal. If you get these pieces like this, save those as well because those are great for layering. So all parts of the book are usable. It's just a matter of how it comes apart. And then I don't spend a lot of time fighting with this because either it wants to come off or it doesn't. So right there I got another piece, and there's another piece. There's a smaller piece. So I mean, if it doesn't want to come off, then not a big deal. But on the really old books, those will come off quite easily. Those can just go in the recycling. So then you're left with your book block, and it's just your pages. So that's how I tear my books apart. Now, for using the pages, when you start to rip some of them out, you'll get this along the sides. And I just take a pair of scissors, and every once in a while I'll trim it just to get this glue gunk out of the way. But if you don't want to trim it off because you want to be left with that spine because it didn't come off all the way, then don't do that. Just leave it. Okay, so the next part we want to do, we're going to need our glue stick. And I like to do it this way because everything stays all lined up. I have a hair on my glue stick. Ew. Okay, so while it's still attached to the book, I will open the top page and I will glue stick the second page, and then I'll just close the top page on that, give it a little bit of a press, and then rip it out. And then I continue doing that. throughout the book. And there's been a few times that I have just gone through and glued the entire book like this and ripped the pages out. That way I had double pages to make stuff with. So this is another one of those projects that you can do while sitting in front of the TV or while chit-chatting or whatever. It's easy and mindless, and you don't have to think about it a whole lot. Okay, so I did a few ahead of time, so that's good with that. So I'm going to set my book block aside. I'm going to bring in my pages that I have. So what I enjoy doing is I take my book pages and I make them into things, just blanks. So like I've got tags, for example. I've got tags. I've got some pre-made trifolds. Let's see here. I've made envelopes, so that's an envelope. I've made just journal cards out of them. I've made a variety of different pockets and stuff, and I've also made belly bands out of them. And then I just keep them in this little basket, and when I'm working on a project I can pull from them. So I'm going to show you how to make a couple of them. So you can use any kind of glue for this. I'm just going to go ahead and use my glue stick. For the tag, I'm just going to fold this over and fold this over. And it doesn't have to be perfect. So you've got one side that's a little shorter than the other. I like to tuck the short side on the inside of the book page. So I'm going to glue my short side. And then I'm going to put glue on the bigger side. And then I've got that. So this is essentially 6 layers of book page because we started with 2 pieces. So then I like to take my old debit card or whatever, and I've made the different angles, and then I just like to trim my corners using my template. And there you have a simple yet sturdy tag base. And then I like to take this to my sewing machine and stitch around it, but you don't have to do that. And also, if you don't want the white part showing down here, you can cut that off as well. I mean, the options are endless. The options are yours. So another thing we can make is a trifold. So that's made the same way. You just fold your paper in like so, and then you fold this side in like so. And that's all there is to the trifold. There's no more gluing, nothing. You just fold it up, and there you have it. Now, again, I would take this to my sewing machine and just do a zigzag stitch around it, and then I would decorate it up with whatever papers I'm using for the journal I'm working on or whatever. So there's that. Now this page has a picture on it. Is that going to bother me? Not at all. So let's make a Rita Donnelly flip. With the Rita Donnelly flips, all you do is you take your page and you fold it down and you trim your excess off. And then again, I would take this to my sewing machine, open it up, and do a zigzag stitch all the way around it. And then you can put this on the corner of a page. So say this is my journal page. you can put this in the corner of the page, glue here, glue here. It can be a pocket, and then it'll also flip open and you can put coffee dyed paper here or something, and then you can journal on it. So there's that idea. And then I never throw this piece away because we can very easily take our circle punch, put a little notch in it, do stitching around the 3 sides of it, and there we have a little pocket. Okay, so to make an envelope out of one of these, I will fold it up however far I think. I don't ever measure, I just do it. So then I'll fold this part back like so. And you can glue this piece down if you want to, if you don't want it getting in the way. I usually don't, but you can. So that's like that. Now I want to leave a little bit of a space. So I'm going to fold right about there. So that way when I open it up, I've got about that much space. So you can leave it just like this if you want, or you can angle it, and I'll just take this piece and flip it over and put it on this side like so, and then use that as my guideline. So, and how I did that was I made sure I stayed right below there when I started my angle. That way it doesn't show any of that. And then again, I would take this to my sewing machine, stitch along this side where we folded that over, then I would close it up. I would start stitching here and just stitch down, over, up, and across the top, but you don't have to. You can come in here with your art glitter glue or whatever glue you're using, put a bead of glue there and a bead of glue there, give it a press, let that glue grab, and there you go. You've got yourself an envelope. Cute, easy, and quick. Okay, let's do a pocket. So the easiest way to do a pocket is just fold this up. Again, I'll take this and I'll fold this part over. And the great thing about the book pages is you can line up this side here on the side where we did not rip it out, and that's going to give you a straight fold every time. So then I like to come to the top and fold this over as well, and all that's going to do is strengthen our edges of our pockets. Again, you can glue these down, but if you're sewing on your sewing machine, you don't have to glue them down. Okay. And depending on the size of your book also depends on the size of your items. So, I've got those folded. Again, come in with your glue, put a bead of glue here and here, just like we did on the envelope. And then you're going to close that. And then depending on how you glue this onto your page, you have a pocket here, so we can tuck something into here. We could tuck something back here if we glue down here and across the bottom and then up. Or you could just glue here and here, and it could be a tuck spot for something larger. I mean, the possibilities are endless. Okay, let's do a journal card. So with the journal card, they are the easiest things ever. You just fold your book page in half. Now again, you can come in with your glue and glue this shut just like so. And then you have yourself a journal page base. So what I would do with this is take it to my sewing machine and just do a stitch around the outside of it. If you don't want to do that right away because you think you might cover it completely with paper, then leave it as is and finish it later. But that is a base for a journal card, and it's a perfect size. So it'll fit in there, it would fit behind here, you know, just however, whatever. Okay, so I'm going to show you two more things. If you take your page up like this, and you fold this in like so. So you're doing thirds, but you're doing it hot dog style this time instead of hamburger, or vertically. Okay. Again, I'm going to take my shorter side, put glue on it, and fold that in. Just like so. Put glue on this side and fold that in, and there you have a belly band. So you could use it up and down like this, you could use it sideways, you could cut it in half, you could make a bookmark out of it, you could make a tall skinny tag out of it even, and just angle your corners, whatever you want to do with it. Okay, one more, and perfect because it's my last two pieces of paper. So this has a big old picture on the back of it. I don't really want the picture to show, but some of it's gonna. So it doesn't really bother me that some of it's going to show. You're not going to be able to really tell what it is. So just like we made our other pocket, we're going to take this and we're going to fold it up, and then we're going to fold the top piece back on itself and glue that. We're also going to take the bottom piece here and fold that back. And again, this is optional. You don't have to do this part. I just like to do this part because it strengthens the edge of the pocket where you're going to be pulling stuff in and out all the time. Okay, so now we have this. So now I want to take this page and I'm going to flip it over so that I have my ruffly side and my straight side on the same sides as this piece. And then I'm just going to slightly fold this up. So it's going to be a much more shallow pocket. And I'm also going to, again, fold my sides over. So this would be a good project to get your bone folder out because there is so much folding involved. But I'm just using my fingers for the purpose of the video. Okay, do the same thing at the top. Just fold it over on itself. Give it a glue. Again, you don't have to do this part. It is optional. All of it's optional. Okay, so now you're going to take your first piece you made and you're just going to nestle it inside this piece. And I am going to run this to my sewing machine real quick, and I'm just going to stitch down both sides of it to show you what the finished product would look like for one of these. And I'm just going to do a straight stitch. And I did not do the greatest job stitching, so don't laugh when you see it. It's all wonky and all over the place. Okay, so now we have a quadruple pocket. So here's our journal card we made. It could go here, or here, or here, Or it could go up here. If we glue here, here, and here on our page, it could go here. Or we could put it in this way if we glue the top and the sides. Lots of different options. So, in just a few minutes, with just a few pieces of book page, we've made all these different items. So, that's 2 pockets, an envelope, a journaling card, a tag, another pocket, so that's 3 pockets, a trifold, a belly band, and a Read Donnelly flip. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 9 items that we just made in a matter of minutes. And we recycled a book and saved it from going to the landfill. So, you could sit down and do a bunch of this at one time and spend an hour doing it and do an entire book. Or you could sit down for 10-15 minutes and make a few items. And there is enough here in just this little bit that we made. There's enough here for me to decorate a journal probably with. I could make these fit into any theme I wanted to, decorate them, and use them in the journal. So, I thank you for being here with me today. I want to remind you all to subscribe to my channel. I am trying to reach 1,000 subscribers. My numbers are going up every day, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget to hit that notification bell when you do subscribe. That way you are aware and alerted every time I upload a new video. So, until next time, guys, remember to make today your own and be creative. I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye-bye.